Hey guys, Tekking here, and oh my god, my hair is getting ridiculous. I'm gonna deal with that later. Alright, well, today's video is going to be why the Straw Hats choose to follow Luffy. Why they decided to throw away their lives, join up with this straw-hatted young man, and then sail the seas looking for adventure. And I gotta be honest with you, this video is actually gonna be a recommendation I got from a fan of mine. Usually I come up with these ideas myself, you know, I'll be, you know, at work, or I'll be driving somewhere, and I'll come up with an idea, or more notably, I'll wake up in a cold sweat in the middle of the night, like, oh, water, devil fruit. I need to talk about that. And then, yeah, I have problems. But, no, this is actually a message a fan of mine named Scott sent to me a while back. You should do a One Piece review of the Straw Hats' dedication to Luffy. I think it would be an awesome video. If you do end up doing it, could you give me a shout out? Yes, Scott, I will give you a shout out. I will give credit where credit is due. Keep up the great reviews. Thank you very much. Not necessarily a review, more of a discussion, but, I read that message and I thought about it for a little while, and I'm like, yeah, that is something that is worthy discussion, isn't it? Because let's think about this for a second. Luffy he's not, like, the best leader in the world. Like, certainly the Straw Hats did not join up with him and be like, you know what, I think this guy has a level head. I think this guy is a good leader. I think if I follow him, he'll guide me on the right path. No, he's fucking insane. He doesn't think about things a lot of times. He acts purely in a way that would lead to be his detriment eventually. In fact, that has happened many times. Like, most of the time he does that, it's like he just charges in and attacks, and it usually ends up working, but a lot of times that doesn't work. Remember what happened with Magellan? Yeah, he didn't get out of that shit there. And even in the recent arcs, when you're dealing with the heavy hitters, when you're dealing with the Yonko, you know, Luffy's, you know, his number one thing is like, okay, where is the bad guy? Who's the strong bad guy I have to fight? And, you know, that's pretty much it. Just point me in his general direction. But that's not as... It's not as simple as that sometimes, Luffy, especially when you're dealing with, like, these really strong pirates. And yet, despite all that, the crew stands behind him. They're very dedicated to him. They would never think about betraying him for any reason. They really stand behind their captain, Monkey D. Luffy. So, in order to really properly understand this, I think we need to understand the Straw Hat Pirates, shown here. So, the reason why the Straw Hats all joined up on the crew, the main reason I would say, is because they each have a dream that they want to be accomplished, and this is going to be a big factor into why they chose to follow Luffy. So to just go over their different dreams really quick from left to right, Chopper's dream is to go and see the world and become a great doctor. Frankie's dream is to have his ship, the Thousand Sunny, manage to conquer the harshest sea in the world, which is the Grand Line, much like his mentor Tom's ship, the Oro Jackson, did. Robin's dream is to find the Rio Poneglyph and the true history of this world. Zoro's dream is to become the greatest swordsman in the world. I'm going to skip over Luffy, but, well, yeah, his dream is to become king of the pirates, but we're not really talking about him right now. Sanji's dream is to find the All Blue. Usopp's dream is to become a brave warrior of the sea like his father, Yasopp, also to find Elbaf, the land of the giants. Brook's dream is to become reunited with his friend Laboon at the Twin Capes. And Nami's dream is to draw a map of the world. Now, individually, these dreams vary. Some of them are very vague, like Usopp's dream, you know, I just want to become, you know, a brave warrior of the sea, to very simple. All Brook wants to do is just meet a friend. And then you have people like, you know, Nami and Robin's dreams that are fairly complicated, you know, like trying to decipher these ancient glyphs or drawing an entire map of the world, you know, very, very complicated things. But the main thing you have to remember here is that they all needed a respective push in their introductory arcs in order to follow Luffy. Because I think when you have a dream that you want to follow, even in our reality, you need other people to kind of support you along that path, don't you? Let's say you want to be a doctor, or you want to be a lawyer. Now, of course, you'll have your own desire to do that, like, I'm going to go to medical school, or I'm going to go to law school, and I'm going to practice, I'm going to do this. But you have more than just that, right? You have more than just your own dedication. You have friends and family and professors and your benefactors that say, yes, go and be a doctor. Yes, you can go do this. I believe in you. If you put your mind to it, you can do it. You know, you have other factors going on here. Now take it to a whole nother level in the One Piece universe. We're not talking about being doctors in the traditional sense. You know, the kind of doctor, you know, the shit in One Piece, being a doctor is a lot more complicated than just going to medical school, right? And then you have shit like Robin's dream to decipher this ancient writing that the world government has outlawed. You know, it's way more risky to do this shit. And I think at one point in their lives, while the Straw Hats might want to do this, like these are their dreams, they're deterred to do it, or they feel like they can't do it, so they might as well just be happy where they are. For example, Frankie, you know, Frankie was really happy just kind of being in like Water 7 as being a mafia boss in that city, you know, not really going out to sea. Chopper was like, okay, I want to go out to sea like Dr. Hirolux said, but I'm just going to stay on this island, you know, because it's just too harsh out there or something. I couldn't do it. They doubted themselves in different ways. Even Robin, who, you know, you think of Robin as someone that's like very dedicated and very serious at the end of the Alabasta arc when, you know, they were in the tombs and the things were collapsing on her and she was just like, I've given up. I'll never be able to attain this. It's over. Just leave me to die. And then Luffy didn't give up on her. So I think that is not just literal in the sense that, you know, Luffy literally saved Robin's life in that situation, but also metaphorically for the other Straw Hats. Luffy saved them in the idea of, hey, guess what? I have a crazy dream too, and I'm not giving it up. Luffy's dream to become king of the pirates is probably the most ridiculous out of all of their dreams, because this would involve not only following in the footsteps of Goldie Roger, the most notorious pirate in the world, that's pretty big shoes to fill, but it means taking on all the other strong pirates in the entire world. That's who you are making an enemy out of when you declare that you're going to be the king. You're going to be the one to beat them all and find the One Piece. So I can see that, you know, Nami's dream to draw a map of the world, that might seem kind of ridiculous. You know, Usopp living on his little island like, I want to go a brave warrior to the sea. I could never manage to do that, though. I'm not cut out for it. And then this kid shows up one day, you know, who's honestly not the brightest bulb in the fucking, in the closet. But he's like, hey, guess what? I have a crazy dream too that's probably even crazier than yours, and I just jumped out to sea to go do it. Because that's what I want to do with my life. Will you join me in making my dream come true? And I'll try to see if I can make your dream come true. We can work together at this, and we can be a team, and we can be Nakama. That's what Luffy does. He shows up and then pushes people towards it. It's not the only reason why they follow him so dutifully, but I think that's the initial reason why they get pushed on onto the Going Merry or the Thousand Sunny and go out to sea. Because of Luffy's determination, his unyielding, he doesn't back down from anything, and the fact that his dream is even more ridiculous than all of theirs, and yet he's the one that's going out and making it happen. It's like, if he can't do it, if he can do it, why can't I? That sort of thing. Now, Luffy is, of course, very fucking strong. But I don't think, honestly, his strength plays that much into the reason why the Straw Hats are so dedicated to him. I'm sure it's a factor there, too. You can't have a captain that's incredibly weak. But Luffy, yeah, it's not just his strength. And it's not just his leadership skills, because we've already established he really doesn't have any. But it's also the way that he treats his crew. You know, despite the fact that he is stronger than pretty much everyone on the crew, and despite the fact that, you know, he wants to be like the king of the pirates and everything like that, he's not harsh on his crew. He doesn't treat them as underlings. He doesn't treat them as people that he can just boss around and order. You know, in fact, you don't really get to see Luffy doing that all that often. You do see it occasionally. Well, he'll give out orders and stuff. Like, there was that time when Sanji, you know, during Dressrosa, when Sanji and them ran across Big Mom's pirate crew, and they were on the Den Den Mushi, and Sanji's like asking permission for Luffy, and Luffy's just like, yeah, go ahead, give him hell, you know what I mean, and then get out of there. You know, so there are times where Luffy does have to give out orders to his crew, but he's not usually doing that. He's not all barking orders, giving them. If anything, honestly, like Nami is more of the captain than he is a lot of times, because she's usually the one that grabs the reins and like, Luffy, god damn it, do something. Go and do something on the ship, you know, batten down the mizzen mast or something. I don't know. Go and fish for food or do something, right? So it does have leadership skills, but it's more of just about, you know, we're less about, you know, this is going to be a traditional pirate crew. Let's go sail the world. You're going to listen to me. And it's more of just like, let's have a fun adventure. Let's make our dreams come true, but also, this is sounding very cliche, but let's make our dreams come true, and let's also have an adventure at it, too. You know, all you guys, all members of my crew, you're not my underlings, you're my nakama, okay? You're my friends, and I will go through, if anything ever happens to you, and it looks like you can't go, I will move heaven and earth to make sure that you don't give up, and that you can continue on this journey. He did it with Robin, he did it with Nami, he did it with Usopp. It's just like, he won't give up on these people, no matter what. And that's a trait that just, like, no other captain has really displayed in this series. Yeah, there are captains that aren't complete dicks to their crews, like Law. Law's pretty, you know, he treats his crew fairly well, but it's made very clear that I'm the captain, you'll listen to what I say. And that's what a captain, that's what you would expect from a captain of a pirate ship or any vessel. Like, I'm the captain, you do what I fucking say. But on the Straw Hat crew, it's this weird motley crew kind of thing, where it's just like, yeah, I mean, I'm the captain and stuff, but guys, let's just go and have fun. We're pretty cool. We got this. Also, you have to consider something else about the Straw Hats. Each one of their pasts is marked with the death of a loved one. And I think more than just their individual dreams, I think part of the reason, or at least they went out to sea for all of them, is because of that loved one that they cared about that passed away or was killed in some sense, that I'm going to respect their memory by doing what they think I would want to do. Nami's mom, Bellamere, adoptive mother, not her real mother, she went out to sea, and you have that emotional scene where she's in the house and you see Bellamere behind her, and she, like, the ghost of her, and she, like, pushes Nami out the door. And so it's kind of just like, like Chopper, Dr. Heroluck doesn't want me to just stay on this island the rest of his life. He wants to, he died, and he was a great man and a great doctor, and he wants me to go out to sea. So I think that's a big part of it too. And Luffy had somebody that he thought, he had Ace that died in his life, but before that it was Sabo. I think Sabo was a big reason why he got driven out to sea. And that's part of the reason why. That's also what made him dedicated to train during the time skip. Like, watch me, Ace, and watch me, Sabo, before he thought Sabo was, he didn't know Sabo was alive at that point. Also, you have to consider the 2-year time skip. The Straw Hats have spent more time separated than they have actually been a crew. That's the one weird thing with One Piece that I was always a little bit on, was that the entire part 1 of One Piece takes place in less than a year. From chapter 1 all the way up to chapter 597 before the time skip. That's all, like, I don't know, 7, 8, 9 months maximum. That's not a lot of time there that the Straw Hats have been a crew. And then they were separated for 2 years during the time skip, and then they got back together. So even though it's not like none of them ever gave up. None of them, like, they got knocked away by Kuma, and they're like, oh, okay, well, I guess that pirate thing didn't work out the way I planned. Oh, well, I guess I'll just go back to my life now. No, it's, oh my god. We were so close. We were not just close, like, we were all close as friends, but we were so close to fulfilling our dreams. Like, this was actually possible. I'm gonna get back to Luffy. I'm gonna get back to the crew, and we're gonna do this. And the Straw Hats were all, like, when they found out Ace died, they were all, like in tears. Or at least most of them were in tears or being very distraught about Ace's death, because not because they had a strong connection to Ace, they only met Ace once. In fact, some of the Straw Hats, like Robin and Frankie and Brooke, never even met Ace. But after they found out that Ace died and what they knew what Luffy was going through, and he was going through that alone, they were so distraught. They were like, we have to get back. We have to help our captain. Because he treated us this way, and he brought us on, regardless of who we were, regardless of what our crazy dreams were. And now we want to be there for him. So, I mean, it's a lot of factors, I think. But if you're going to break it down, I think it's the way he treats his crew. He prioritizes freedom, equality, friendship amongst the crew. By the way, his whole thing, becoming King of the Pirates, he wants to do that because that has the most freedom in the world. The King of the Pirates has the most freedom. So Luffy's not going to be the kind of guy that's going to impose these, like, strict regulations on his crew when he wants to be the one that's the most free. It's the people that they've lost in their past that Luffy always seems to seek out. Maybe Luffy has a sixth sense for that. Like, I can tell that you've had a really tragic past. Come aboard and make those people that died, make them proud of you, or honor their memory by fulfilling your dreams, because that's what they would want. Maybe Luffy just has a sixth sense, like, it's like, Frankie, I can tell that something really fucked up happened in your past. I'm like, oh, how could you tell? And then it's, of course, because they push... His dream is just as ridiculous, if not more so, than the other Straw Hats. So come aboard and help me find my dream, and you'll find your dreams as well. And also, it continues to keep being that factor. Because a lot of the times, Luffy's kind of like... You might think on the crew, he doesn't play much of a role as a captain, but really he keeps everybody together. Because I can guarantee you, like, if Luffy just wasn't there... that crew would just be like, because they deal with a lot of crazy shit, and a lot of times, specifically like Nami and Usopp and Chopper and Brooke, they kind of just want to like, can we just not go to this island, give up, and just skip to the next one? But Luffy's the one that's like, nope, we're doing it, come on guys, you gotta push yourself. But of course, they need to do this. Like, Nami wants to draw a map of the world, Okay, so she's approaching an island that's fucking just monstrously dangerous, and she's like, I don't know about this, but Luffy's like, come on, let's go. And of course, Nami's like, well, if I want to draw a map of the world, I need to go to that island, even if it looks like instant death. So that's why Luffy's there, to keep, come on, guys, let's do this. Now, not all the Straw Hats are like that. Zoro and Sanji and Frankie, they're pretty tough guys, so they'll never shy away from a challenge, but they still need Luffy to be there as sort of just like the linchpin on the crew to keep them all together and keep them on track from what they're doing, even though he's not the smartest guy and he's not the best leader. But he serves a very vital role on the crew as captain, just maybe not in the strictest sense of what a captain really is, more of a metaphorical kind of thing. Or like a more emotional thing, I guess I should say. But anyway, yeah, that's basically what I have to say about the subject. I thought it was a pretty cool idea for a video. Thanks again to Scott for giving me the idea. I'll give you a shout out there. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and this will be Tekking101 signing out. Like, comment, subscribe, and all that shit. Later, guys.